Welcome to SSR Pharma Media, your trusted source for pharma knowledge. Pharmaceutics, decode the pharmaceutics MCQs made simple. Today we are going to discuss about packaging of pharmaceuticals. Part 3, plastic containers. Prepare, practice, succeed. So the part 1 already we have discussed, and part 2 also glass we have already discussed. Today we are going to discuss part 3, plastic containers. So the composition of pharmaceutical plastic containers. The plastics are synthetic polymers of high molecular weight. Plastic is made from one or more polymers together with certain additives. The polymers commonly used are polythene, polypropylene, polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene, polymethyl methacrylate, polyethylene terephthalate, and polytrifluoroethylene. So the additives includes in plastic formulations are antioxidant, anti-static agent, colors, lubricants, plasticizers, and stabilizers. And the composition of plastic containers. Pharmaceutical plastics are the polymers and importance, properties, and uses we'll discuss. So polythene, so also called as polyethylene. So its properties are flexible, very light but tough. So impermeable to water vapor and deteriorate on prolonged sunlight exposure. So high permeability to gas, like example oxygen, and permeable to some soils, oils, and preservatives. And melting point of this polyethylene is 110 to 115 degrees Celsius. So cannot be heat sterilized. So it's mainly used for bottle, tubing, heat sealable packaging, films preparations, and mainly in ophthalmic products. And high density polyethylenes are rich, high resistant to oils, and higher melting point than polyethylene, can be sterilized by autoclaving. So disposable, it is used for disposable syringe preparations and containers for pharmaceutical preparations. Polyvinyl chloride is less flexible, heavier than polythene, and more permeable to water vapor, high clarity, and not affected by sunlight. So it is used for the eye ointment tubes preparations and flexible polyvinyl chlorides bags for IV solutions. And polymethyl methacrylates are hard, strong, light, and transparent, and soften at about 100 degrees Celsius bottles and tubes. And its polystyrene is a hard, rich, light, easily molded into various shapes. It is used for the preparation of bottles, tubes, jars, and boxes, and syringes. And next, polytetrafluoroethylene. So it is a translucent and opaque and highly resistant to solvent and chemicals, stable up to 250 degrees Celsius. So containers required for high chemical and heat resistance. And polypropylene is similar to HDPE. It's a very light and heat resistant, melting point 170 degrees Celsius, can be autoclaved repeatedly and most widely used. So it is used for the preparation of disposable syringe, tubing, and quiz bottles and packing films. And polyamides, nylon, is also called as nylon. It's very tough, flexible, heat resistant, and melting point nearly 200 degrees Celsius, and can be autoclaved repeatedly, and attracts preservatives like phenol and parabens due to electronegativity polar centers. And it is used for the preparation of syringe, tubings, packing films for surgical dressings and instruments. Polycarbonate, so it is important. Properties are transparent, high impact strength, very good heat resistance, and it is used for the surgical equipment, preparation of surgical equipments. Nylon and silicone rubbers, it's mainly used for the IV catheter preparation. Let's move into the MCQs. Polyethylene cannot be sterilized by heat because, so option C is the answer. Its melting point is nearly 110 to 115 degrees Celsius. High density polyethylene differs from normal polyethylene because it, option C, can be autoclaved. Which plastic shows higher permeability to oxygen, leading to deterioration of stored material? So option B, polyethylene. Eye ointment tubes are commonly prepared from, so option C, PVC. So PVC is a high clarity and is not affected by sunlight, making it suitable for eye ointment tubes preparations. Which plastic is hard, strong, light and transparent and soften at about 100 degrees Celsius? So option B is answer, polymethyl methacrylate. So polymethyl methacrylate soften at around 100 degrees and is transparent. Easily moldable plastic used for bottles, jars, boxes and syringes is, so option C, polystyrene. So polystyrene is hard, rich, light and easily molded into various shapes. Which polymer remains unchanged even at 250 degrees Celsius? So option B, polytetrafluoroethylene. Polypropylene differs from polyethylene mainly due to its, so option C, higher heat resistant. Repeated autoclaving is best tolerated by, so option B, polypropylene. Attraction of preservatives like phenols and parabens is characteristic of, so option C, nylon. So nylon has electronegative polar center that attract preservatives. Packing films for surgical dressings are commonly prepared from, so option B, nylon. Which polymer is transparent and has high impact strength? So option C, polycarbonate. Disposable syringes are commonly prepared using, so option A, HDPE and polypropylene. Which plastic is more permeable to water vapor than polyethylene? So option A, PVC. So PVC, polyvinyl chloride, is heavier and more permeable to water vapor than polyethylene. Which polymer is least affected by sunlight exposure? So option B, PVC. Quiz bottles are commonly made from, so option B, polypropylene. So next we'll see in the plastic container. So we'll see what is sorption and leaching. So sorption is removal of drug or excipients from the formulations by the packing material. So leaching means, leaching is the migration of chemical substance from the packing material into the pharmaceutical products is called leaching. So sorption and leaching is a different meaning. Read it carefully. And parameters of sorptions are, so here, direct drug to container and results loss of active ingredients. It is commonly occur in the plastic container. Example, insulin adsorbed on PVC. Leaching means container to drug. The chemical goes from container to drug. Contamination takes place and it mainly occurs in the plastic and glass containers, and plasticizer leaching from PVC. So in sorption, it includes adsorption and absorption. AD, adsorption, absorption. Adsorption means the drugs adheres to the surface of the container is called adsorption. Absorption means the drug penetrate into the bulk container material. It's called absorption. At the same time, sorption decreases and drug concentration. Decreases the drug concentration. Leaching increases the impurity. And plastics are more prone than glasses. Nylon attracts preservatives. So next is the must know about the thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic. Thermoplastic means soften on heating. Thermosetting plastic means it retains shapes due to high cross-linking agent. And this basic quality behavior on heating. It soften to a viscous fluids on heating and harden again cooling. And thermosetting means it becomes flexible but does not become fluid on heating. And during cooling, rehard on cooling and retain shapes until decomposition. And cross-linking agent, low degree of cross-linking or intermolecular attractions. A high degree of cross-linking. Nature at room temperature, generally soft to hard. So hard to brittle. And reusability can be reshaped repeatedly, cannot be reshaped once formed. So examples, nylon, polystyrene, polymethyl methacrylate. So example of thermosetting plastics are thermosetting type, thermoplastic type. These are all example. Here thermosetting types are phenol formaldehyde resins, urea formaldehyde resins. So examples are very important. Thermoplastics, these are all example. Thermosetting types means formaldehyde, phenol formaldehyde, urea formaldehyde resins. And testing of plastics for pharmaceutical packing. So we will test the for acid to check the extractable and chemical interactions, alkali to detect leaching of additives, water to ensure the compatibility with aqueous formulation, and organic solvent to check the resistant and extractable substance. Sorption in pharmaceutical packaging refers to, so option C, removal of drug from formulation by container material. Which of the following is a typical example of leaching? So option C, migration of plasticizer from PVC into formulations. Sorption is more likely to occur with which type of drugs? Option C, lipophilic drugs. Which factor most enhances leaching from plastic containers? So option D, high temperature and long storage. Plastic which often on heating and harden again on cooling are classified as, so option C, thermoplastics. So thermoplastic become soft on heating and regain hardness on cooling. Which of the following is an example of a thermoplastic polymer? Option C, polystyrene. So polystyrene is a thermoplastic. Phenol and urea formaldehydes are thermosetting plastics. Thermosetting plastics retain their shapes on heating mainly due to, so option C, high degree of cross-linking. Which type of glass can withstand autoclaving? So option B, neutral glass. Which plastic does not become fluid on heating? So option D, phenol formaldehyde resin, because it is a type of thermosetting plastic. Plastic used for pharmaceutical packaging should be tested for extractable during. So answer in the comment box. So join in our WhatsApp community. You'll get hands out material. Thank you. Like, subscribe and share.